I've been email marketing for 7 years and made millions of dollars in sales for some of the biggest brands and celebrities in the world, and I routinely have businesses pay me $2,000 to $10,000 per month to help them improve their email marketing. And in this video, I'm going to share the 15 biggest email marketing lessons I've learned in the past 7 years for free to help you master email marketing and make more money even if you're a complete beginner. So spend 5 minutes to watch this video because I promise you, you'll get more value from this one video than a $1,000 course on email marketing, because what I'm going to share with you is what actually makes money in the real world, not theory or fluff. So with that being said, let's dive into these lessons. Lesson 1 is understand the value of email. So before we dive into all the email marketing tips and tricks, I first want you to understand that email marketing is your most valuable marketing channel in your business. And there's 3 big reasons why I say this. Reason number 1 is email is the only marketing channel you fully control. You can always send an email out to your list and get immediate traffic on your products and services. Every other marketing channel out there, you don't control. For example, if you're running ads, your ad account can get shut down at any time. If you're creating content on social media, your accounts can get banned at any time. This happens every single day to business owners because you don't control these marketing channels. But email is the only marketing channel that you fully control and no one can take it away from you. So it's your most valuable asset and marketing channel. Reason number 2 is attention on email is significantly more valuable than any other marketing channel. And here's what I mean. HubSpot research states for every $1 spent on email marketing, you get $36 back. There is no other marketing channel where the average ROI is 36x. And the reason email ROI is significantly higher than any other marketing channel is because of how focused that attention is. Meaning, when someone receives your email and they open it, it's much easier for them to fully focus on your email without getting distracted. Compare that to someone seeing one of your ads on Instagram and you're competing against dog videos, supermodels, and all these other distractions that are right in front of their face, so their attention is significantly more fragmented. And that's why with email, you can get these insane ROIs because the value of someone's attention on email is significantly higher than any other marketing channel. And finally, reason number 3, email marketing acts as an amplifier to all of your other marketing channels. Because once you have someone join your email list from your marketing efforts, you can continue to follow up with them and nurture them over time until they're ready to buy. Because only 5 to 10% of all the leads and traffic you get from your marketing are ready to buy right now. The rest is 30 days out to a year out from buying. And if you can stay on top of these people using email over time to nurture that relationship with them, so when they are ready to buy, they think of you, you can convert significantly more of your traffic and leads into customers. So that's the first thing I really want you to take away from this, is understanding just how valuable email marketing is and why you need to focus on it. Lesson 2 is master the 3 types of email. So email marketing is pretty simple because there's only 3 types of emails you need to know to make money. There's content emails, offer emails, and proof emails. And if you master these 3 emails, you're good to go. So let's break them down and give examples for each one, and we'll start with content emails. And content emails typically share stories or tips and tricks your subscribers find valuable, and then in your content, you have call to actions that promote your products. And content emails should be the main type of email you send to your list because they get the best of both worlds, meaning they allow you to provide value to your subscribers so they build a deeper relationship with your brand, and you're able to promote your products in a non-salesy way. So you're selling and building a relationship at the same time. So let me give you an example of a content email I wrote for my agency. So you can see the subject line of the email is how to create guarantees that double sales, and the copy of the email is super straightforward. It says, want to learn how to create an irresistible guarantee that can double your sales? Then check out this video I made here. And when people click on this link, it takes them to a video training I made that shows them how to create a good guarantee for their business. And then in that content, I have call to action saying, if you find this video helpful and you want our help creating a guarantee for your business, book a call below. So I have call to actions. And that's why I love content emails, because we're getting the best of both worlds. We're providing value up front to most people watching the video, but for people who want to go further, there's a call to action for them to book a call and enter our sales process. So that's an example of a content email. The next type type of email is offer emails. So these are emails that directly promote your products. So these can be sales emails, launch emails, whatever it is, you're going straight for the kill and trying to sell your products directly. And these offer emails are typically the emails where you make the most money, but you can't send them all the time or else your subscribers will get fatigued and you can burn your list. So you want to use them sparingly. And in my experience, you can only really send 1 to a maximum of 3 of these a week unless you're running a big promotion. So let me show you an example of an offer email I sent for my agency. So you can see the copy in the email says, give me a call if you want us to do any of these things for you. Number 1, help you run and scale your ads. Number 2, help you build a high converting funnel or store that brings in sales. Or number 3, coach you one-on-one for a full year to scale your business with guaranteed results. Here's how to reach me. And if they click that link, it takes them to a calendar where they can book in a sales call with me or one of my sales reps. So this is an offer email. It's straight to the point. We're promoting our products directly with the objective of getting sales. And finally, the last type of email is proof emails. And these are emails that ingrain in your customer's mind that your stuff works and you're a brand they can trust. So these are emails sharing things like customer testimonials, reviews, case studies, and press releases. So here's an example of a proof email for my agency. The email copy says, struggling to scale your ads profitably? We just recently helped our client Mark scale his ads from $1,000 a day in sales to over $20,000 a day in sales in less than 180 days. You can see his full testimonial and case study here. So right away, we're providing proof by giving a real case study of a client we helped from $1,000 a day in sales to $20,000 a day in sales. So now people who are reading this who are in a similar position who want to scale can relate to this proof and case study. And then it says, if you're struggling to scale your ads like Mark, you should book a call with our team. Here's our calendar to reach us. And then if they click that link, it takes them to our calendar where they can book in a call with me or one of my sales reps. So that is a proof email. It reinforces proof that we know what we're doing and we can generate results. So those are the 3 types of emails. And a good email marketing strategy has a blend of all 3 of these emails mixed together. You have content emails to build goodwill with your audience. You have offer emails to directly drive sales. And you have proof emails to make your subscribers know your stuff works. So make sure to know and understand these 3 types of emails. Lesson 3 is create an email schedule. And this is how often you send emails to your subscribers. And I'll give you the ideal email schedule here in a second. But first, I want you to understand one thing, and that is most businesses don't send nearly enough emails to their list as they should be. They send 1 email a week and they're surprised when they're not making any money from their email list. The clients we work with who are making the most money from their email list are sending at least 3 times a week or every single day. And here's why that kind of volume is so important. The average person gets 121 emails a day, so their inbox is completely flooded. And because of that, the average open rate is only 25%, meaning 75% of people don't even open your email. So if you send an email to 10,000 people, on average, only 2,500 people open it. And if you have a 2% click-through rate, which is industry average, that's only 50 people clicking on your email, which isn't a lot of traffic. So if you're only sending 1 email a week, you're just not getting enough traffic to make a lot of money. It's simple math. So what I recommend based on experience to get the best results is aim for at least 3 emails per week and then increase it from there. So if you're sending 3 emails per week, here's what it might look like. You might send 2 content emails and 1 offer email. If you're sending 5 emails per week, you might have 3 content emails, 1 proof email, and 1 offer email. And let's say you're sending an email every single day, you might have 4 content emails, 2 offer emails, and 1 proof email. And what you want to do is test around with these different email schedules until you find your volume sweet spot. And your volume sweet spot is the maximum amount of emails you can send each week without getting diminishing returns. Meaning, you might find your list actually performs best to 3 emails a week compared to emails every single day. And you just have to play around to find that volume sweet spot for your list. Now, the main thing you want to do is just pick an email schedule and stay consistent with it. If you just do this one thing, you'll be ahead of 90% of businesses. Lesson 4 is optimize email deliverability. And what email deliverability is the percentage of your emails that actually get delivered to your subscribers' inboxes without landing in spam or bouncing. If you have bad deliverability, you can have the best email in the world, but it doesn't matter because your subscribers won't see it. So having good deliverability is pretty damn important. And in my experience, there's only 3 big things you need to do to get your deliverability on point. So let's go over them. The first thing is pick an email marketing provider with good deliverability. And the way you do this is you choose the email marketing provider that most people in your niche are using, even if it's more expensive. Because if most people in your niche are using it, it probably has good deliverability. For example, if you're an e-commerce store owner, use Klaviyo. If you're a service-based business, use Go High Level or ActiveCampaign. These all have great deliverability. So do a bit of research and pick the email provider that most people in your niche are using, even if it's more expensive. Because if you cheap out and you get shit deliverability, your emails are going to suffer. The second thing is set up a dedicated sending domain. So if you have the option in your email marketing provider to set up a dedicated sending domain, do it. It takes less than 5 minutes and it goes a long way. And why you want to set up a dedicated sending domain is that if you're using the default sending domain in your email marketing provider, there's going to be thousands of other people sending emails from the same domain. So if some of those people are being stupid spammers, guess what? That's going to hurt your deliverability because you're using the same sending domain as them. And by setting up a dedicated sending domain, it makes sure you're the only one sending emails from that domain. So you're going to have much better deliverability as a result. And finally, the third thing you want to make sure you do is set up a DMARC record on your domain. This basically authenticates your email and is super important to set up after the new Google and Yahoo sending requirements. If you don't have it set up, your deliverability is going to take a big hit and you're going to land in the spam folder. And this only takes a minute to set up, so make sure to do it. And if you do those three things, your deliverability is going to be good to go and your emails are going to land in your subscribers' inboxes instead of their spam folders. Lesson 5 is focus on the hook. The most important factor that determines the result of your email campaign is the hook of the email. And the hook is the angle of the email that gets someone to stop what they're doing and read your email over all the other emails in their inbox competing for their attention. And the reason your hook is so important is if you have a bad hook, your email is going to fail because no one's going to open it. Now, if you have a good hook, you'll get significantly more people opening and reading your emails and ultimately doing the action you want them to take, like buying your product. And I first learned this lesson from Rudy Moore, who I had the chance to work with. And Rudy is a savage marketer. And one thing he's world class at is creating hooks that get people's attention and get them to buy. And I remember I was managing Rudy's email list, and I told Rudy I felt the performance on the email list was dropping, and we should take a break from sending offers all the time and spend more time creating content to warm the list back up. And I remember Rudy told me to pull up the recent email campaigns that were sent out so he could review them. And he looked at the campaigns for 30 seconds, and he looked at me and he said, "Buddy, the list isn't dead. These hooks just suck. I don't feel compelled to read any of these emails." And then he came up with this really good hook for a promotion to the list, launched it, and it generated a shit ton of sales. And that's when I was like, oh, it's all in the hook. Because the mistake I was making before is I was spending most of my time writing the email when I should have been spending most of my time thinking of the hook for the email. Like Rudy only wrote an email when he knew what the hook was going to be. So whether you're writing an offer email, a content email, or a proof email, spend most of your time thinking of that head-turning hook for the email that catches your audience's attention and gets them sucked in to read your email, because that's what determines the result of your campaign more than anything else. And if you want to get better at creating hooks, here's a few things you can do. The first thing is pay attention to the emails and ads that hook you in, and then what you want to do is save them to a folder, and then spend some time each week to review and study those hooks. Because if you do this, your brain's going to start picking up on the patterns of these hooks, and it's going to transfer to your work. The second thing you can do is practice creating hooks every single day in the real world. And you do this by writing more emails, running ads, or creating content. Because the best way to get better at creating hooks is by creating hooks in the real world. And if you do these two things, you'll get better at creating hooks that get people to buy. Lesson 6 is make emails easy to read. One thing I noticed from emails I sent that performed best is they were all extremely easy to read. And the reason this is so important is if your email looks confusing or intimidating, people will stop reading it and do something else. So here's 3 things I recommend doing to keep your emails easy to read to get better results. So the first thing is write your subject lines under 50 characters ideally, and make sure they pass the glance test. And what the glance test is someone must be able to understand your subject line just by glancing at it. And the reason this is so important is you're competing against hundreds of emails in their inbox. So your subject line needs to be short and easy for people to understand at a quick glance, because if it's not, they're going to glaze right over it. So make sure when you write a subject line, it's simple and you can understand it at a glance. The second thing is make sure your email copy is written below a 5th grade reading level, ideally under a 3rd grade reading level. This will make your emails a lot easier for people to read and understand. So what I recommend you do is take every email you write and put it in a free writing editor like Hemingway, and that's going to tell you the reading level of your copy, and then edit it down until it's below a 5th grade reading level. And I promise you, if you do this, your emails will perform a lot better. And the third thing is make the font on your email 16 to 18 and have spacing after each sentence. And the reason I recommend 16 to 18 font is anything less than that, people have to squint to read your emails, which is not good. And the reason you want to have spacing after each line is if you have a bunch of sentences clumped together, it's very hard for people to read and that turns people off. So if you follow those 3 things, your emails are going to be a lot easier for people to read and you'll get better results from your emails. Lesson 7 is follow a framework. One of the biggest hacks to be able to write higher converting emails faster is by using proven frameworks. And to prove that to you, let me tell you a quick story. When I was pretty much brand new to email marketing, one of the first clients I worked with was a big fitness influencer, and we were planning a launch for this client. And I had no idea what I was doing, and I remember I promised this client the world, but when it came time to creating these email campaigns, I was stressed out of my mind. So I remember I went to YouTube and I typed something in like proven email launch campaign, and I came across a video from Frank Kern who shared his 4-day cash machine email framework. And it was an email framework he used to launch products and generate millions of dollars in sales. So I pretty much watched the video and copy and pasted this exact framework and filled it in for my client's offer and just prayed to God it would work. And when we launched the campaign, the emails crushed it. The client generated hundreds of sales and he was shocked by the results. I remember he told me he hired multiple email marketers in the past, but they were never able to produce results. And here I was, a complete beginner who basically copied and pasted a framework from YouTube. And that's when I realized just how powerful a good framework is, because a good framework does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It provides you the structure you need for your email to perform. All you have to do is follow it and fill it in. So now I use frameworks for pretty much every email I write, and I get much better results using them. Now, if you want to get a bunch of free email frameworks to use for your offer emails, content emails, and proof emails, go to marketersplaybook.io. That's marketersplaybook.io, or the first pinned comment below. On that page, you'll get access to free email frameworks, as well as 20 plus free marketing courses and trainings I use to generate tens of millions of dollars in sales. All you have to do to get them is put in your email address and I'll send them your way for free. Again, that's marketersplaybook.io. Apart from that, let's dive into the next lesson. Lesson 8 is create your non-buyer automations. And one of the most powerful features with email marketing is the ability to set up automations. And automations are automated emails that get triggered to send based on a behavior your subscriber takes. And the first thing we want to do is set up automations that follow up with all of your leads who drop off in your marketing funnel and don't buy. And here's what I mean. Every marketing funnel has a series of steps, and typically in those steps, there's drop-off points. And these are points where people can fall off, which cause your conversions to drop. So for example, let's say I'm a marketing agency, and the way my funnel works is people visit my website, they then fill out an application to work with us, and then after they fill out that application, they book a sales call, and then on that sales call, we can close them into a client. So let's break down each drop-off point in this funnel and how we can use email automations to plug them in. So the first drop-off point is everyone who fills out the application but doesn't book a call. So we can create an email automation pushing those people to finish booking a call, saying things like, hey, we got your application, next step is to go book in your call. The next drop-off point is people who book a call but don't show up to the sales call. So we can create an email automation pushing them to reschedule, saying, hey, we didn't see you on our call, go here to reschedule. And the next and final drop-off point is for people who had the sales call but don't close into a client. And again, we can create an email automation that follows up with these people and shows them testimonials and content over time, so when they are ready to buy, they think of us. And by adding in those automations, we'll have far more conversions from our marketing funnel because we have follow-up for all the major drop-off points in our funnel. So what you want to do is you want to map out your entire marketing funnel from beginning to end, every step from the moment someone lands on your website to becoming a customer. And make sure any drop-off points in your marketing funnel after you get someone's email address has automations to follow up with them and get them to buy. And by adding in these email automations for people who don't buy, you're going to drive a lot more conversions and sales from your marketing funnel. So make sure to do this. And the more follow-up you have, the more money you make. Lesson 9 is create your buyer automations. And these are automations that follow up with your customers to get them to buy again. And this is low-hanging fruit because it's so much easier to get an existing customer to buy again compared to getting a new customer. And the more money you make per customer, the harder you can scale. So what we like to do for clients is we build them something called an email offer rotator. And what an offer rotator is it's a 30-day email automation that follows up with new customers and shows them different upsells and cross-sells they can buy to increase their overall lifetime value. And by installing these email offer rotators for clients, we routinely have clients increase their 30-day lifetime value by 20% all the way up to 200%, which is crazy. Because when you know you're making 20% more from each customer in the first 30 days, it allows you to scale your marketing a lot further. And the reason why these offer rotators work so well is because in the first 30 days, customers are the hottest and they spend 20% of their 12-month lifetime value in the first 30 days. So they're in a hyperactive buying state. So what I recommend you do is create a 30-day email automation for new customers that shows them different upsells, cross-sells, and products they can buy from you. And yes, this is going to take some work up front to create, but it's worth doing because once you set it up, you now have an automated system that continues to work for you and gets your customers to buy again and again and increase your customer lifetime value so you can scale your marketing further. So it's worth doing. Lesson 10 is run quarterly promotions, and this is one of my favorite ways to boost email revenue. So every quarter, which is every 90 days, run a big multi-day promotion to your list that's 3 to 7 days long. And this can be a launch of a product, a special offer like a sale or a bonus, whatever it is, make it sexy and make sure it has a specific start and end date. And if you do this, you'll have a big spike in sales and cash flow every 90 days that's purely organic. And the way I discovered this is when I started working with e-commerce clients, I noticed most of them always had a big spike in sales during November and December because that's when they do a big promotion during Black Friday weekend, and then they wouldn't promote heavily again for the rest of the year. So I thought to myself, I wonder if instead of doing a big promotion once per year, we could do it every 90 days instead. That way we could get a big spike in sales 4 times a year instead of 1 time per year. So I started testing this with clients and running big promotions every single quarter, and my theory was right. Now my clients were getting big spikes in sales 4 times a year instead of 1 time per year, and this boosted their sales by a lot. And what we noticed is their list didn't get burned out either, because what we found is 90 days in between large promotions is a big enough gap for most people to not get annoyed. So what I recommend you do is every single quarter, run a multi-day promotion to your list where your goal is to make as much money as possible. Now, you don't want to run the same promotion each quarter or else people are going to get bored of it and your results are going to start diminishing. Instead, you want these promotions to be fresh and exciting because then people look forward to your big promotions and you get the best results possible. And if you do this, you'll get a big spike in sales and cash flow every 90 days. Lesson 11 is maximize emails that work well. So anytime you find an email campaign that works well, it should not be the last time you run that email. Instead, you want to squeeze as much juice as possible from that email campaign because if it worked, it means you have a message that resonated really well with your audience. So here's what I recommend you do when you find a winning email campaign. So the first thing is every 30 to 60 days, rerun that exact same email to your list and it's probably going to work just as well. And you can change the subject line and the copy slightly, but keep most of it the exact same. And don't worry, people aren't going to remember this email because again, the average person gets 121 emails a day, so they won't remember an email you sent a month ago. And I've done this multiple times for clients where I find a previous email that worked really well for them and I just send it again to their list and 99% of the time it works just as well. The second thing is you want to add that email to your automation. That way, every new subscriber who joins your list automatically sees your top performing emails without you having to lift a finger. And this is going to increase your conversions in your automations because they're going through proven winning emails. And the third thing is test running that email as an ad. We've created multiple winning ads for clients by taking the copy from one of their winning emails and modifying it slightly as either a retargeting ad or a cold traffic ad. And the holy grail is when you can get one of your emails to work on cold traffic, because that's when you can make a lot of money. So try those three things when you have a winning email of sending it again, adding it to your automations, and testing it as an ad. And if you do those things, you'll make significantly more money from your winning emails. Lesson 12 is spy on your competitors' emails. And this has helped me a ton when it comes to finding winning hooks and promotions for my emails. So here's what I recommend you do. Step number 1 is create a list of direct and indirect competitors in your space who are crushing it. And direct competitors are businesses selling the same thing as you to the same target market. So if I'm a Facebook ad agency, a direct competitor is another Facebook ad agency. Now, indirect competitors are businesses selling different things as you to the same audience. So if I'm a Facebook ad agency, an indirect competitor would be a Google Ads agency. Then step number 2 is you want to sign up to their email lists by going through their funnels so you start receiving their emails regularly. And then step number 3, and this is the fun part, is you want to spend time each week to review their emails and see what emails catch your attention. But most importantly, you want to look for the hooks and offers in their emails they send over and over again. Because if they keep sending those out, that means they're working really well for them. And when you find those emails, or you just find a hook you like, model it and try a similar version to your list. Because what I've noticed is since email marketing is dealing with warm traffic, meaning your subscribers already know you, if you model a winning campaign from a competitor who has the same audience as you, there's a good chance it's going to work for you too. And I've done this multiple times, and some of my top performing email campaigns I've ever created were from drawing inspiration from competitors. So give this a try. Lesson 13 is send to Unopens. And this is an easy trick you can use to get 10 to 30% more revenue from each email you send, and most people don't do this. So all sending to Unopens is after you send an email campaign to your list, wait anywhere from 8 to 24 hours and send that exact same email again with a different subject line to everyone who didn't open it. And this is going to increase your open rate, because if someone doesn't open your email in the first 8 hours, their inbox is likely already buried with new emails, so they probably won't see or open the first email you sent out. So by resending that same email with a new subject line, it gets bumped right back up to their inbox, and it looks like a different email since it has a different subject line. And by doing this, you're going to get a lot more people opening your emails. And most email providers have a one-click send feature to allow you to easily do this. So what I recommend you do is for each email campaign you send, write 2 email subject lines for it, and then send out the first email to your list with the first subject line, and then wait anywhere from 8 to 24 hours, and then resend that same email with your second subject line to everyone who doesn't open. And I promise you, if you do this, you are going to make more money from your email campaigns because you have more people opening your emails. So make sure to do this. Lesson 14 is use email to find winning offers. So email's a great low-risk way for you to test new offers in your business and see which offers have potential to scale. And the reason behind that is, number 1, sending out emails is extremely cheap. And number 2, emails warm traffic, meaning people on your email list already know you. So if you launch a new offer to your email list and it fails, there is a good chance it's not going to be a winning offer that can scale big. Now, on the flip side, if you test a new offer to your email list and it crushes it, there is a much higher chance you have an offer that has potential to scale. For example, for one of my clients who's in the info marketing space, his goal was to find winning offers he could scale on Facebook ads because that's where he made most of his money. So what we did is every 2 weeks, we would launch a new offer to his email list first to see the performance on warm traffic. And most of the offers we launched didn't do that great, or they failed. But every so often, we'd launch a new offer that absolutely crushed it to his email list. And when that would happen, what we'd do is we'd take that offer and we'd run it on Facebook ads as well to see if it could scale on cold traffic. And using this approach, we found multiple $1 million offers we were able to scale, all because we tested the offer first using email to gauge the level of interest. So what I recommend you do is you want to launch new offers to your email list first to gauge the level of interest. Because if it flops to your email list, which is warm traffic, it's probably not a good offer that can scale and is worth investing a lot of resources into. But if it crushes on email, you have a much higher chance of an offer that can withstand scaling. Lesson 15 is study your email data. And this is super important. So pretty much every email marketing platform you use will show you data like your open rate, your click-through rate, and your sales generated. And what you want to make sure you do is you study that email data because it'll literally show you what you need to do to get better results from your email marketing. For example, when I was looking at the email data for my marketing agency, I realized the emails that performed best for me in terms of sales generated and open rate and click-through rate were emails I sent talking about Facebook ads. Any emails I sent talking about other topics like conversion rate optimization or email marketing even didn't have the same level of interest and engagement from my email list. So once I knew that data, all I did is I created more email campaigns talking about Facebook ads because I knew that's what my audience cared about, and it resulted in me getting more clients and sales from my email list. So the data literally showed me what I need to do to get better results from my email marketing. So what I recommend you do is each week review your email marketing data and look for trends. So there's two things I want you to look at. The first thing is look at your top performing emails and look at what things they had in common. So look at what the hook was, what the content was about, and what offer you promoted. And you really want to look for those trends so you can do more of that. And the second thing you want to look at is look at your worst performing campaigns and do the same thing. Look at what the hooks were, what topics you talked about, the offers being promoted. And once you can find those trends in the worst performing emails, you want to do less of that. And if you continue to look at the data and you follow this process, over time, you're going to get a pulse of what your audience responds best to. And you simply do more of that and less of the stuff that doesn't work. So those are the biggest email marketing lessons I've learned in the past 7 years, and I hope you found them helpful. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my next video that shares 7 years of marketing knowledge in 36 minutes. It's gonna pop up somewhere on the screen right now, so go check it out, and I'll see you there.